5, 4, 3, 2. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Pure EVil MMA. I got a special guest for us today. Bellator's Blair Tugman, who's going to be fighting next weekend. CT's own Blair Tugman. What's going on, Blair? How you doing?
Good. How's it going, Eddie? Happy Easter.
Happy Easter. Thank you for stopping in. I know it's such a selfish sport. You got this fight going on next weekend at Mohegan Sun. What are you doing today? I saw that you're out and about at the training or exercising. What are you up to this morning?
Yeah, so get up, usual routine, 7 o'clock, and then I headed over to the gym around 8 and broke a sweat and just kind of getting my weight down and feeling good and ready to go for next weekend.
Yeah, so now it's a week away. Is it starting to feel real now all of a sudden?
Yeah, I mean, it's real when you sign on the dotted line.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, as it gets closer, you start to feel it a little bit more, and I'm excited. You know, you get more and more excited as it gets closer to compete.
And anyone that's in Connecticut that's interested to go into Bellator, do you still have tickets for sale that they can reach out to you? Or?
Yeah, definitely reach out to me. I mean, I've been selling a ton. I probably have sold like 140 tickets so far, and I'd like to sell 60 more and get to 200. So if people want to come, please contact me, and we'll get you out there.
And it's been such a big year. Before we start about your fight, I want to get your take on, Bellator signing some of these bigger names out there. Of course, people view the UFC as the place that you want to get, but now you're seeing a lot of big names signed to Bellator, which kind of evens the playing field out. Does this kind of make you sit back and be like, I already am where I want to be. I don't really necessarily need to get to the UFC. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, Bellator is doing an unbelievable job signing all these guys and bringing in great talent, young talent and old talent. So it's pretty cool to see what they're doing as far as bringing in guys like Fedor, Mitrione, and guys like that. As far as me, I'm not where I want to be yet. I want to be at the top, but I am happy being able to fight for an organization like Bellator. So I'm obviously very excited to fight for them and compete for them every time they ask me to.
And you've trained with some of the UFC's top talent like Cody Nolov, TJ Dillashaw, and those two are about to go at it.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that? I mean, that's an interesting there's so much going on there with the story and everything, and you've got to train with them. What's your take on this season, man?
Yeah, I've been very lucky and fortunate to be able to train with these two guys on two separate occasions. So I'm excited for the fight. I think it's going to be awesome. I like Cody a lot. I built a little bit of a relationship with him the 2 times I went out to Alpha Male. Dillashaw I trained with once, but I didn't get as close to him as I did with Cody. So I'm kind of rooting for Cody. I want to see him handle his business and do his thing, but I'm just excited for a great fight. It's going to be awesome.
So do you think Bellator should kind of bring it back? They got the Spike platform. They did something in the past with like a reality kind of a thing with like Joe Riggs ended up winning it. Do you think Bellator should pick up on that reality show side to pick up some more of the casual fans out there?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's a bad idea. I think it definitely draws in some fans that you normally wouldn't get just watching the sport typically, because it brings in that reality show type feeling and setting. So we actually have a girl that I train with, Marissa. Spider Monkey, and we're trying to get her involved in the UFC reality show coming up here soon. So hopefully she gets on the show, and she's going to do some big things, and she's a girl to watch out for sure.
Yeah, if you guys don't know about Marissa, I'll share her profile after this interview. You should definitely keep your eye on this girl. Andrew's done an amazing job making sure that she's strong in every area between her jiu-jitsu, wrestling, and everything. And they've been training together forever. And of course, Andrew, he's another Bellator fighter. Last time we spoke, he was trying to get back into it, but he had an injury. What's going on with Andrew right now?
Yeah, so he's kind of overcoming a couple injuries, and he's slowly getting back into training. I don't think he's done competing yet. I could still see him stepping out there and competing if the opportunity presents itself. He's slowly getting back into good shape and things like that. He still trains and works out with us daily, and he's a student of the sport. The guy's constantly studying and staying on top of it, which makes him an unbelievable coach, and us as his athletes makes us very lucky to train with him.
You also have your own gym, Team Tugman. How's that going for you?
Oh man, my wrestling club, Team Tugman, is doing an unbelievable job. We have some amazing athletes coming through there, youth through high school, kids and high school kids competing nationally and doing very well nationally, and it continues to grow. And Team Tugman is something that motivates me. The kids, seeing them work so hard and helping them reach their goals motivates me to be a better person, a better coach, a better athlete, and it's just an all-around amazing experience for me. So if you're ever interested in coming down, checking out Team Tugman Wrestling Club, make sure you do it. Some of the best kids in the country train there.
That's in Brantford?
That's in Brantford, yep.
All
Right in
right.
Brantford. We get kids from all over the state, though. They travel from all over. We even get guys from New York and New Jersey coming up to train with some of our guys. That's how good these kids are.
Matter of fact, I'm doing the interview right now in Brantford, Connecticut, so we got a lot of local guys. You guys should definitely go check out Team Tugman. Of course, you can check out Blair's profile and find out exactly where the directions are, where the address is. But Blair, let's jump into your fight, man. You're 4 out of 5 in your last 5 fights. You're on a 2-fight win streak right now. You're getting the motivation behind you with the local scene. There's a lot of people coming to see you. So I got to ask you this. What do you know about Tom Winglets? What are we in for, the people that don't know Tom that well? What kind of a fighter is he?
Yeah, Tom fought on the last card I fought on back in November. He fought my buddy and training partner, Chris Foster, who I train with daily.
He's on this card too, right?
Yeah, Chris is fighting as well. He's fighting Manley, I believe, who's got a wrestling background. But Tom's a veteran. He's fought some really tough fighters, some guys that I believe have fought in the UFC. And then he recently fought Chris, who's a very, very talented kid too. So he's a scrappy dude. He's a headhunter. He throws some pretty big, heavy shots, and I think he looks for KOs. I think he has a wrestling background, but I don't know if he uses it too much. He just swings for the fences. So he's a brawler. So it should be interesting.
Do you see this fight playing out a certain way in your head? Some fighters don't like answering that, but of course you got to see it some way. How do you see that?
Yeah, I mean, I tell my wrestlers and my athletes all the time, you got to visualize every night before bed, and it's something that I do personally. And I've seen it play out a million different ways, but every way my hand gets raised at the end. But I really am excited to showcase some of my striking skills. I think I've jumped levels every fight as far as that goes. Andrew continues to work in a lot of different techniques and skills that I think I have possessed through tons and tons of training and drilling and shadowing and sparring. And I really want to showcase those striking skills. And then, eventually I know I am a much better ground fighter than Tom is. I am highly confident in my ground skills. I train at Marcelo Garcia's in New York, the greatest grappler to ever grace the mat. So I train with his top level black belts, world champions, once a week, and I'm going toe to toe with those guys. So going into this fight, I know if it hits the ground, I am gonna dominate.
Who's at that gym right now that you've been working with?
Yeah, Daniel Danis and Munch, they just got suspended.
Yeah.
which you know.
Mm-hmm.
Gianni Grippo I get to train with, who's a black belt world level guy. There's a ton of Pan Am and world champs, brown belt through black, that I get to work out with. But Munch is one of the guys that I was consistently working with, Gianni Grippo, and there's a couple other guys down there that are like high level purple belt, brown belt type guys that I get to train with on a daily basis. So it's every time you go down there, it's really good training as far as the grappling goes.
So Dylan, man, he's in a tough situation right now. Any word of advice to him if he's listening right now?
I mean, I don't know if I'm in a place to give Dylan Danis advice. I don't know if I agree with some of his tactics off the mat. I know what he's doing it for, and I know he's buddies with Connor, and it's worked well for Connor, obviously. But that's not my style to act and portray that type of person. But if it gets him paid and it gets him where he wants to go, then all for it. But I give Marcelo Garcia credit for saying not my gym. That's not how you're going to act. So yeah. I respect that a lot out of Marcelo.
Well, I was just speaking with Steve Gazzola, who just was on last week's Bellator card, and he was trying to call him out. I mean, if Dylan does come in soon, who would you like to see him matched up against? I mean, I think Steve Gazzola would be a great matchup for him.
Yeah, I mean, being that he has no MMA
experience,
he's 0-0, and he's getting all this hype and publicity. You know, it does get annoying to some guys that have been around for a long time and put their time in. Yes, he is world level jiu-jitsu, but MMA wise, he's 0-0, man. So I think he needs to earn his way up to the top a little bit more than what they're giving him. They're giving him a pretty big opportunity right off the bat. But I don't know. I think that would be a great matchup for him, the first match, see where he stands.
Yeah, he's got a future ahead of him, man. Everyone's talking about Dylan, even though he does have that 0-0 record. It's kind of cool to see these stories unravel as an outsider, you know, in the sport. See this. See, it's been a crazy 2016, and now 2017. It's been more of a controversial year. You know, what are your thoughts on this year in a whole right now, 2017, as we stand here Easter morning?
Anything could happen in the sport of MMA, that's for sure. Yeah. I'm excited for 2017 and what's coming. There's a lot of great fights, a lot of great matchups coming up. Like you said, Dillashaw Garbrandt's awesome. I'm excited for the reality show itself, just to kind of see how they interact together. I've already saw some previews of them getting after it, which should be pretty interesting. The women's divisions continue to grow and build, which I think is huge for our sport. So I'm excited about that, and I'm really excited about the Fedor, Mitrione, and MSG. That's going to be pretty cool.
That's what I was about to bring up to you. Bellator has been having an amazing year. I called it last year. I was like, Bellator looks like they're going in the right direction, signing a lot of these big names. Who are you favoring in the Matt Mitrione versus Fedor fight? That's such an interesting matchup.
Definitely is. I mean, Matt's he's a tough out, but Fedor is the legend. So it's hard to pick against Fedor. I know he's been around for a very long time, but I think I'm going to lean towards him and his experience and just his overall toughness and the guys he's fought throughout his career. I mean, the guy's fought the who's who of MMA. So I'm excited. I'm just excited to see that fight. It's going to be amazing. I wish I was on that darn card.
Yeah, in New York. I mean, you're so local. You know, yeah. Have you been seeing any changes backstage with Bellator? You know, bringing in these guys. You know, some of the bigger names. Has anything kind of bonded you guys a little more as a company to work together?
No, I think Bellator's been very consistent throughout the time that I've fought for them. They treat us very well from top to bottom. You know, they're top guys to their lower level guys, or not lower level, but our prelim guys. I think they treat us very fairly, and they put on a great show. And every time I fight for them, I feel privileged. So they do a great job in the way they treat the fighters.
So before we let you go here, man, what can everybody expect when they come to see you this Friday, April 21st at Mohegan Sun?
Yeah, they can expect to see the best version of myself. I know I say it every fight, but I believe it 100% that every time I step in there, I'm a better version of myself previously. So they're going to see the best Blair Tugman they've ever seen. That's all I got. I mean, I'm looking to finish inside 2 rounds. If I don't finish Tom with inside 2 rounds, I'm going to be pissed at myself.
How's this weight cut going for you? You said at the beginning of the interview you feel all right. You know, how much more do you have to go?
I'm right on track, man. I worked out this morning a little bit. I just walked on the treadmill for an hour, and I'm within 10 pounds. So I'm like right on the button. I'm good to go. You know, this is way easier than making 35. Let me tell you that.
Well, is your girlfriend hiding all the Reese's on you? Because it is Easter. You can find
as
them
of
after
now,
the fight.
no Reese's for me now. No, definitely not.
Blair, thank you so much for coming on Pure EVil MMA. What we like to do at this point in the interview is I hand the imaginary microphone over to you. If you have any shout-outs, any sponsors, anything that you want to get out there to our audience that you want to say, a message to your opponent, wishing them luck, anything at all, the floor is all yours now.
Yeah, Tom, let's just put on a good show, man. Let's have a great battle on the 21st and give everybody a really good show. And I would like to thank my coach, Andrew Calandrelli, all my teammates at Ultimate MMA for helping me and pushing me throughout my training camp and my career, my family, mom, dad, my 2 brothers, Blake and Brad. for always loving and supporting me and everything I do. My sponsors, Bad Boy. Thank you for hooking me up with some sweet gear and clothing. My manager, Gerald Grube, thank you for hooking me up with this fight and giving me this opportunity. And all my Team Tugman friends and family that come out to support me and watch me kick some ass on April 21st. I appreciate it. And thank you, Eddie, for taking the time to interview me and doing what you do for the sport of MMA. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Blair, for coming on Pure EVil MMA. Before we let you go, man, we just want to wish you the best of skill come this weekend. We'll be there supporting you, brother.
All right. Thanks, brother. I appreciate it.
Happy Easter Sunday.
Thanks. You too.